Hi guys, welcome back to the Humble Gamer channel. I'm the Humble Gamer. This is some more of my train sim career stuff. We're back on the Fife Circle line. I remember last time we drove from Edinburgh to Glenrothes with Thornton, and we did pretty poorly. Since we're on a platform I can do this, we're driving in the class 68 in ScotRail livery, 68006. And we are now going to travel from Glenrothes around the other part of the Circle line to Coincheanainn, Lochely, Cowdenbeath, Dunfermline, both stations, Queen Margaret and Town, Rosyth, Inverkeithing, where we join the rest of the route we've previously done, then South Queen Street, and then stations back to Edinburgh Waverley. It shouldn't take us much more than 7:42, an hour and a bit. Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes, so this could be quite a long one. I don't know if I'll go much further than Inverkeithing because we've seen the route across the Forth Bridge. Yes, don't worry, I'm still myself. So yeah, I don't know how much of... I think we'll probably get to Inverkeithing then stop because we've done across the Forth Bridge in the last video. So, and then we've got some Class 158 stuff coming, then some Class 170 coming, and then the surprise little scenario at the end of this run. And then we should be going down south to Newcastle. I don't currently at time of recording own the Edinburgh to Newcastle bit, so I'll probably jump straight to Newcastle. But you'll roughly see what I'm doing here. So Coincheanainn. Let us accelerate. Away, and we'll put the headlights on. But yes, so yeah, no, it's been a while since I've actually recorded these. I took there have been various things that have gone on that required me to take a break from recording. So you'll notice that there have been gaps and pauses, but even though I'm going back to work soon at time of recording, so cause obviously things are starting to roll back here in the UK. I am endeavouring to try and keep as regular as is humanly possible, but obviously this isn't my job. I have full-time jobs. I have a full-time job, and I also have other commitments on Tinternet. So, you know, YouTube at the moment is a hobby. If that changes, then that changes. But at the moment, YouTube is a hobby and will be treated as such. But I do have a lot of exciting stuff that I want to record for YouTube, so it will be done. It just might not be quite as regular as you guys have perhaps been used to now that I'm going back to work. But even then, I'm not going back full-time just yet because of the sector I work in. So we can drop down to idle and go past this nice little siding. This is quite an open bit of, a flat and open bit of land. Mind you, we are on the coast. We're not. This isn't the Fort William and Malay route, is it? So we're not exactly into the most amazing of Scottish scenery here, but don't get me wrong, this is still lovely. It's a lovely area to visit. If you've never been to Fife, highly recommend it. As I have mentioned, I have family up there, and I would definitely recommend visiting it. It's a lovely bit of the country. Thank you. Score of 75. I'm going to hope I'm going to drive better than I did last time around, because I know it's been a while, but even I remember just how poorly I drove last time. And that's not a performance I want to repeat. Particularly given that as we go further down the coast, there will be there'll be routes that I also know that I will struggle to drive on successfully. I mean, we haven't touched a steam train yet, so I will be keeping auto fine, which I know will upset some people, but I'm here to drive. I'm not necessarily here to... I know I'm doing career scenarios, but I'm here to see how well I can drive myself. I'm not here to see if I can fire and drive the thing. If you're a steam locomotive driver in real life, you would have a fireman, so thus I am treating it like I'm a steam locomotive driver in real life, and thus I have a fireman. And that's enough of my making excuses for myself. I'm playing this for fun. The fact that you guys watch it and enjoy watching it is an added bonus. As I've said in previous videos, please do let me know if there's any routes you want me to do. Obviously, finances are limiting. I can't guarantee that I will get to every single route because I can't afford them. Well, I mean, eventually I will get to them, but it will be a case I'll have to save up or wait for sales and stuff. And I know we've just had March Madness, but obviously, what with the pandemic and furlough and stuff, money wasn't exactly in a position where I could just go out and grab a train sim route. There was other stuff I needed to spend money on. Like bills. So but yeah, it's not the first stuff I've recorded since I've come back to recording, but it's sort of the first chance that I've really had to properly chat to the camera, because other stuff I'm recording, which you'll see in about a month's time, assuming everything goes to plan. But other stuff is a bit more of an involved game. Not that this isn't involved, but there's a lot of time where I'm just literally controlling speed at the moment. And we're going uphill into Cardenden, I said earlier, didn't I? Cardenden platform. We are going to be slightly behind time, but not like massively, just while the computer has a little bit of a tizzy while it loads something in. To be fair to it, I am also rendering a video as I record this, so I'm giving it some work to do. But yeah, I've got a lot of stuff that is in the works. Railway Empire Season 2 is coming soon. That's not what I was recording last night. What I was recording last night was just a silly little thing that was kind of requested on one of my Sodor Snippets videos. Put some brakes on as we approach Cardenden. And then release the brakes because we're coming in a little bit too slowly. We'd stop like halfway through the platform. That's not where we want to stop. We have passengers that would like to get off, so let's stick my head out. I wouldn't do that, would I? So let's... Okay, now apply. I've done that far too late. Handbrake, handbrake, handbrake. And we'll accept people on at Cardenden platform. That's not gone well at all. I can't drive this locomotive like I've been able to drive some of the other ones. Like some of the locomotives, like the commuter stuff, the Class 170s and stuff, I've been driving them really well. And I've been driving drove the Class 47s up on Fort William really well. But no, since I've reached Edinburgh, it's all gone to heck in a handbasket. Right. Lochgelly platform. 2 miles. They're saying I'm supposed to be there at 7:55, 7:56. ETA is 7:53. So that's good. We can pull what little time I lost. I mean, I was only like a minute behind, maybe 2. But we can pull what little time I've lost back. I've lost from that stop back, which also means that hopefully I can do a better job of stopping because I can go slower. I'm just going to unplug my camera because it was charging. It should now be fine. I have to do that because my camera is currently on a non-traditional camera stand. And as such it can overheat. In fact, it's barely taking any charge at all. That's fine, I can charge it between videos. There we go, -4 points for speeding, that's fine. I wonder why they've given me so long to get from Cardenden to Lochelie when it's literally round the corner. I wonder. I do wonder. The thick plottons. But I genuinely hope you are enjoying these career scenarios. Like I said, I'm not going to play every scenario from every route, just a sort of nice selection. So we're going to have these two with the Class 68, then we're going to have one from the Class 170s, one from the Class 158s, and the special surprise. So, but I want to do enough scenarios that show off the route, and that show off the rolling stock, and that give us different things, like if there's passengers, freight, shunting, lots of stuff like that. I want to do some variety, but I don't want to do every single scenario because I've only got so much time in my life. And like I said, since YouTube is not a professional thing for me, I do have other things to do with my time, and Train Sim, I would love to play Train Sim for a living. At the moment, that's not going to happen, so, you know. Balancing time and stuff. But I genuinely, I could play Train Sim all day. I find it relaxing. I find it very relaxing. Which reminds me, if you are new to the channel and this is the first video you watch, go back and watch my Glasgow to Edinburgh run, which was done late at night, both in-game and in real life, and I was tired, and it sort of became an ASMR thing. So if you like that, if you go back, watch it, and if you like it, I will happily do some more specifically ASMR train sim journeys, either at night or just with minimal commentary, literally just saying we are now arriving at, we are now leaving, have a pleasant day, yada yada yada, and in a very non-ASMR way. Fuck yeah, I did that well. So now I've got until 7:55, so we've got about 2 minutes, so I shall see you in those 2 minutes. And we're back, and lovely, timeless bonus of plus 91 points. So 231, so we're doing pretty well actually so far, it has to be said. We're on a slight downgrade, so let's start pushing forward to Cardonbeath then. Thank you. Cardonbeath in 2 miles. They're giving us 6 minutes to get there. I reckon we should be there. Oh, it's not. Cardonbeath isn't a timetabled stop. That one's just arrive whenever, no set arrive departure time. Well then. That alters things. I mean, not drastically, but it does alter things. Have we seen much traffic on this route? I don't think we have. I don't feel like I've seen an awful lot of opposing traffic. We need to slow down. There's a speed limit of 30 coming up in a second. We can just drop behind that. Wonder why. Well, this thing. The thing is, a lot of routes now, they give you the route, they give you the activity that takes you the whole length of the route, but they don't do a route learning thing. It hasn't told me anything about the route or about the area that I'm in. It just tells me, go here, stop, 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 start, stop, start, stop, start. So, you know, I think route learning activities are underrated. I think more people should do them. More route builders, be they third party, be they Dovetail Games themselves, be they amateurs like me. I think route learning is it's part of the fabric of being on the railways, isn't it? Route learning and getting to know the route that you're on just makes sense, and I don't know why we don't have more route learning scenarios. Okay, this is why. It's a very, very, very tight corner as we go past somewhere. Possibly Cowdenbeath town itself. This might be why the creators of the scenario have maybe not put a timetable slot in, because you're going to be bouncing around the speeds here. So it goes up to 60 for all of a fifth of a mile. But by the time you've got back up to speed at 60, you'll be slowing to go back down to 20 again, so there's little to no point, really. But either way, we're doing it, and we're doing it well. Well, we're doing it. There's definitely some sort of settlement there. That might be the outskirts of Cowdenbeath, actually. There we go. We are now on the 20 mph speed limit, approaching. It can only be approaching Cowdenbeath. We're supposed to. It's saying we'll get there in about 3 minutes' time. Not about 2 minutes' time, really. Oh no! Speak of the devil. There's some traffic. Class 158. Coming out of Cowdenbeath, doing a commuter run. It's doing what I'm doing, but I'm doing what it. But normally I wouldn't be doing this in the Class 68. That's not. They're usually for. Well, I was reading up actually. They're originally for. They're mixed traffic. The Class 68s. They're passengers and freight. And there is a Class 68 on Sodor for the modern traction fans and Sodor fans amongst you. It is being used. I can't remember specifically which route it's being used on. I think it might. Yeah, I think it's mainline. The actual North Western Railway route from Barrow and Vickerstown to Tidmouth. I can now start putting a bit of speed on because yeah, there we go. That's better. As we approach Cowdenbeath, with the houses to our right. No fence, just houses. There's the view. There's an overview of the cab for those of you that are interested. And then drop back down to idle because there's Cowdenbeath Station. That's a tricky little bit of driving, actually. I can imagine that would be fun in a steam locomotive. And if we can apply the brakes. As we enter Cowdenbeath. I'll stop pretty much where they've almost exactly where they told me to. Just go a little bit further, just so that last coach is fully on platform. There we go. Oh, she's having a hover. I do enjoy it when that happens. Come back, love. Come back. There we go. Are you getting on? Nope. You're having a. Just having a wonder, aren't you? Don't quite know what's gone wrong there. There she is. She's back. I don't know if she's getting on the train or not. That's really weird. Cowdenbeath is a strange place. And I'm not sure I ever want to come back because that was scary. If anyone watches this who is actually from Cowdenbeath, I know the chances are minuscule, but if anyone from Cowdenbeath actually watches it, do people do that? Can you levitate in Cowdenbeath? Is that a thing? Is that just like one of your racial skills? If you're a Dungeons and if you're a Dungeons and Dragons race was I am from Cowdenbeath, would levitation be one of your inbuilt innate abilities? Would it be one of your starting feats? Or is Cowdenbeath Station specifically just spooky? All of that was weird. But I'm very glad I caught it on camera. Send it into Ripley's Believe It or Not. Get a tenner. I don't know how much Ripley's Believe It or Not pay. If only they were still running the Twilight Zone. What was that Jonathan Frakes one in America? Where he used to ask all the questions. Was it Fact or Fiction or something? Or was that Ripley's Believe It or Not? Whichever, I mean... Whatever it was, I should send it into them. Have you ever levitated at Cowdenbeath train station? It was true. I think if I saw that as an episode, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably true. Well, I don't usually get hilarious highlights from my train simulator videos, but that's going to be one. That's going to be a highlight. About 20 minutes in. Well, we are going down as a hill. Down the 1 in 100 hill. Yeah, I'm still alive. Bloody AWS. Health and safety. Making sure trains don't crash. It's a nanny state, that's what it is. It's really not. It's actually very, very useful. And very good at saving lives. Which is something I wholeheartedly support. Just in general. Got Dunfermline, Queen Margaret, Dunfermline Town, Rosyth, and Inverkeithing. We will stop at Inverkeithing. I know that the scenario is to go completely round the other half of the circle, but the reason I'm doing this is so I can show you the entire route, and once we get back to Inverkeithing, you will have seen the entire route. The fact that this route is a circle just makes things a little bit more different. But yeah, we won't be going for, we will not be completing, quote unquote, this scenario, because we've all seen the fourth bridge in this route in the previous video. And if you haven't, go and watch the first episode of the Fife Circle in my career mode. If you're watching the playlist, it's literally just click back, click the back button, and you'll get to it. Oh. Obviously Dunfermline Queen Margaret is a fairly asset heavy area because we had a bit of a chug there, and not in the train sense. Mind you, we've got 5 tracks leading into it. Wonder how many of these are actually passenger carrying tracks. We're going to platform 1, so probably not many. Yes. Yeah, they're all gonna come back into presumably a 2-track station. Oh, excuse me. Yes, it is going to be 2-track, yes, because there's some buffers up there at the end of that track. Obviously it's quite a busy station, potential bottleneck, so I've given a few passing tracks outside it. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, Dunfermline at Queen Margaret, platform 1. The station we've all been wanting to see. Both in-game and just in real life. And again, actually pretty happy with that stop overall, as long as the first door opens, which it does. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm actually driving this one better than I drove the first one. No crazy people running up and down in front of the train levitating. No, that's just a Cowdenbeath thing. Just one of those things that Cowdenbeath is known for. I like that we get these sort of overviews of the cab, by the way. Just doing a bit to get my game review ahead on. This is quite a nice locomotive in terms of design. It works quite well. Obviously, I'm not critiquing the actual locomotive, just the model in the game. Having never personally driven a Class 68. Actually, that's the point. If any of you out there watching these videos are people who work on the railways, or if you know someone who works on the railways in Britain and has driven some of these classes, do get them to have a watch, not just to support me, but I would like to know how realistic they are from a real driver's perspective. Because obviously I don't have that. I'm not an engine driver, and I actually can't be because I do have very mild but still red-green colour blindness. For example, I know that this control, the throttle, is red, and I know that the leaves on this tree here are green. I can tell the difference. Like, I know that that top button there is red and that button down there is green. And don't fuck with me in the comments. But yeah, in terms of and obviously I can tell the difference with traffic lights and stuff. It's not like crippling, but you know those little blot tests where you can like the numbers and do blue on yellow can see it, blue on green can see it, red on green I can see the different colours, but I can't tell you what shape they make. So when red and green are mixed together, oh hello, I am spadding. No, I'm not spadding, I'm speeding. And the emergency brake setting has been applied. So all of a sudden, this really good run that I was doing has become a really bad run. Losing all the points we made. I was too busy chatting crap to you lot about my eyes that, let's be fair, I'm sure none of you gave a toss about. Nice patch of woodland to be stuck in though. Let's be honest here. Oh, floating trees. In Cowdenbeath you get floating people, in Dunfermline you get floating trees. Also, floating trees and plants are a feature of Sodor's flora and fauna. But that's because I'm not a professional route designer. Despite all that, it should be pointed out we are still looking like we're going to arrive on time at Dunfermline. God, British timetables are lax and very forgiving to drivers. But yeah, so that's why I could never be a professional train driver. Because officially, even though I can tell the difference, medically and officially I have red-green colour blindness. And genuinely don't fuck with me in the comments, I know that those colours are the right way around. The top one here, the hand is red, the one with the little key on is green. The outside circles here are red, that one, the bit in the middle is green. The locomotive on the thing at the bottom is red, the coaches are green. Do not fuck with me, I know those are the colours. I know what you bastards are like. I know, because that's exactly what I would do. 100% that is exactly what I would do. At the moment we're at no throttle, we're just going down with gravity and we're still going to be on time. I mean, like almost to the left on top. We're now going to be a couple of seconds late, so I will just put a little touch of throttle in. Just get us up to the 50 miles an hour mark, and then I shall idle it. So we're now going to be a minute late. I've perhaps been a bit blasé with my driving there, but never mind. Mind you, it says 8:12:55, so arriving at exactly 8:13 is not like... Ah yes, here is Dunfermline town platform. It actually appears we've got there a lot earlier anyway, so... Although I've perhaps overcooked that arrival a little bit, and the first coach is going to be off. First two coaches are going to be off, that's fine, that's fine. It's fine, it's all fine. It's not a problem. It's not an issue at all. So after this we've got Rosyth and then Inverkeithing. So we're doing pretty well, all things considered, particularly in comparison to how we did on the first video up here on the Fife Circle, but to say we're doing well would be a lie. So we got a timeless bonus of plus 91, so we've made up. We have now made up the points we lost due to my lack of concentration a few moments ago. We haven't made everything back because obviously we still lost some because I cocked up, but I reckon we could be on for a 500 score. Certainly a 400 score. Again, I should stress that the scoring system is not one that's particularly vital in this playlist. I just like to see how well I'm doing. Because as I've said a couple of times, I think in previous videos in this playlist, one of the reasons I've started doing the scenarios like this, the career mode stuff, is just because it's nice to see routes with a bit more life on them, rather than just how we see a lot of the like when we do the obviously when we do Sodor, I know what traffic's on there, so it's not a surprise, and I know Sodor inside out and back to bloody front because I built the thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my Sodor snippets playlist, description below. But when we're doing the workshop routes, a lot of them it's just free roams and either free roams or quick drives, and they don't always have traffic on them, so they feel a bit less alive. Whereas this, we've already seen some traffic, and you know, it's just, and also I don't get because it's not a career scenarios on the other stuff I do. I don't get told how well I'm driving. I just have to sort of assume I drove it pretty well. Whereas now there's a numerical thing that says, yeah, you drove that pretty well, or you drove that poorly. You know, so it's just to test myself. Oh, there's the bridges, the 2 4th road bridges. That's a sight I remember seeing when I was younger, going up on holiday, obviously from the south. But you always knew you were getting close. I always knew we were getting close to where we were staying for our holidays when I could see the bridges right. Let's see, 0.65. Yeah, I think it's time to apply some sort of brake, because we're at 1 in 99. I can always release the brake and roll into Rosyth. Rolling to Rosyth sounds like an old bluesy rock and roll hit. Yeah, I'm good. I think it levels out at Rosyth a little bit, or just after Rosyth, where it's got to, because we're then heading for Inverkeithing, which should be roughly at the same level as everything we've started with. Here is Rosyth, Station 4, the port town. I think, yeah, Rosyth's a port, isn't it? It's a naval base, I think, Rosyth. Just roll a little bit forward towards the end of the platform, then apply the brakes. There we go. Pretty much to the dot on time. We are 5 seconds late. Then Inverkeithing is just there, 1.53 miles, and that is where we will stop this video, because like I said, you've seen the bit that's between Inverkeithing and Edinburgh, but this was the other part of the route we hadn't seen, so we won't be quote-unquote completing this scenario, but still, I think it's a nice route, this. I'm looking forward to doing the other activities with the 158s and the 170s. And yeah, I think it's going to be... It's nice. It's nice. It's a nice route. A lot of nice memories for me, because like I said, I spent some time up in this area of Scotland on holidays, seeing family and stuff. It was very nice. Very nice, lovely area, lovely people. Never had many problems there at all. I don't think I had any problems. Oh, there was a small yappy dog that nipped at my heels once when I was going for a walk underneath the it was around the hills that eventually they led underneath the road and rail bridges. Yeah, there's some cliffs you can walk along there, paths and stuff. I wasn't like, you know, free climbing or anything. While we're waiting for the next 10 or 15 seconds. When I first ever played Train Simulator, the original Train Simulator, Microsoft Train Simulator, I was running ahead in a scenario going from Settle to Carlisle with the Flying Scotsman. I remember my dad came upstairs and said, "How's it going?" I said, "It's going really well. I'm going to finish this scenario like 12 minutes ahead of time." And he said, "How have you managed that?" I said, "Oh, I managed to arrive at each station on time and leave. Managed to arrive early at each station and leave early at each station." He said, "You shouldn't leave early because people are expecting the train to be there at the time it's supposed to leave." I was like, "Oh yeah." So yes, I'd ruined the commute from Settle to Carlisle for a number of people. But it's okay, they were all LMS fans and they didn't want to ride on the Flying Scotsman anyway, so I guess, swings and roundabouts. Slight little dig at the realism of Microsoft Train Simulator there. I did very briefly have it installed on this computer, but yeah, it felt old. God bless it. It felt really old. For the time, it was a really, really good game, but it feels old now. Either way, we're now approaching Inverkeithing, which for our purposes is going to be... Why? Why have I got the emergency brake setting? What did I miss? I don't remember missing anything there. That emergency brake setting should not have come on. And we're still going to arrive at Inverkeithing on time, but... That's genuinely frustrating, because I don't like the first time I'd cocked up, I'll accept that, but that one frustrates me. I don't think I did much wrong there. I feel like it's an unfair brake application by the game. Well, either way. Welcome to Inverkeithing, everybody. Where they make you slam on your brakes, no matter how well you're driving. Do you not see the score of 332 Inverkeithing? Do you not see it? I'm clearly a very good driver. Just going to keep pressing the AWS reset button. So yes, that's the route. That little track to the left there means that you can carry on back round the circle, so you can go from Dunfermline all the way back round. Whereas this track here and the track that's approaching us from the left are the ones that join the circle together, same as there was up north, up at the far end. Ooh. Shit, okay. Ah! That's annoying. That's annoying. Never mind. Never mind. We were nearly at Inverkeithing anyway. And I was braking, so I wouldn't have killed anybody. You scored 0! 0 XP gained. Yay. Never mind, we shall come back next time. We shall be doing one of the other scenarios. We'll put that down as just, that was a failure. That's what happens in career scenarios. Sometimes you succeed, sometimes you don't. I'm not going to redo them. But anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. If you are enjoying what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. Check out Train Sim in the description below. Check out my Solar Snippets playlist in the description below. Check out my Train Sim Workshop routes playlist in the description below. Check out my Railway Empire Series 1 in the description below. Series 2 of that is coming. Check out the annotations on the screen you're about to see some other games, probably not railway related. Thank you ever so much for watching. I was me. That was the Fife Circle on Train Sim 2021. See you very soon, guys. Goodbye.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shit down your spine.
It's quite spooky, but it's not that scary. There's a stair. Hey!
Oh. Oh.
Ah! Ah! Run!
Oh, Jesus.
My God, what is that?
Ow.
Let's not.
Let's move.
Yeah.
Let's leave.